think I am. Hi Instagram, we made it. All right, I think we're here. Please let me know in the comments where you're watching from. It would be great to know where you're connecting in from. I am, as I've told Facebook, attempting to do a live on both at the same time. As I'm sure you can relate, I'm a little bit strapped for time at this time of day. It is coming into dinner time, bath time, bedtime, all of that. So I'd rather just see if I can say hello to everyone all at once. Let's see how we go. So the reason I'm coming on, and look, I haven't done a live for a while. As you can tell, I'm a little bit, well, maybe you can't see it. I am actually procrastinating a little bit at coming on here and feeling a little bit shaky and nervous, but you know, I shouldn't be. We're all friends. So the reason I wanted to come on and say hello is, one, I haven't for a while. I have been on here talking with everyone and sharing some stuff, but I haven't actually been live, and I did enjoy, you know, talking live with you all a few years ago when I was doing that a bit more. So recently we've had a lot of changing of physically where we live, and you know, if anyone's moved, that in itself is no small effort, and you know, life in general. So aside from that, I wanted to explain that, you know, here at the Unexpected Homeschooler, my name is Hannah. If I'm new to, if this face is new to you, my name's Hannah. We have small kids. We've got 4. We homeschool. We go with more of the unschooling philosophy of achieving our learning. And this page specifically, yes, I do share information about, you know, our kids and what we're up to, that sort of thing. But ultimately, this page started because I really had a heart to encourage families and parents that were homeschooling. You know, in the initial phases of homeschooling for myself, I know that decision is made not lightly, and there's a lot of reasoning behind it. But when you actually go to walk it out, a lot of the time, a lot of doubt and fear and, you know, just insecurities start coming up. And so I wanted to encourage, if you had made that choice or were wanting to make that choice, that, you know, that's okay and that's normal. And I wanted to be there with you through that journey to support and encourage you in making the right decisions for your family, because you know, everyone's family is different, but ultimately there's a lot of resources for kids and there's a lot of resources on homeschooling, but where I really struggled was finding that support and you know, the resources for myself as a parent. And you know, that was something that I wanted to encourage you all in. Lately I have been sharing more, and that's come out of a place where I initially was writing a course specifically addressing mindset and, you know, those things that can come up for people, you know, like I said, the fears and doubts and those sorts of things that come up, and I was in the process of you know, finalizing that to be able to release it. But I thought that for the moment I'll put that on hold and just release essentially my back office resources when it comes to the way that you know, we have been able to work towards our financial freedom. Now, I know that's not directly homeschooling, but it is also directly related in that I'm seeing so many families having to choose one or the other. So it's like, oh, well, I can't homeschool because I've got to work. And so, or, you know, you know, one of the parent will stay at home, but the other one will go to work because, you know, you've got to pay for stuff at the end of the day. And so for us, we have been intentional about moving away from the model of trading our time for money because there's other ways to leverage things that can lead to financial freedom. And so ultimately, in having conversations with so many of my homeschooling friends, this comes up time and time again. And I thought, well, you know what? Instead of addressing the mindset stuff, which is incredibly important, I'm going to just go straight to the heart of the issue and hit one of those big pillars of freedom pillars. So if you're wanting to, unhitch from the traditional education system, if you're wanting to unhitch from, the traditional, work system, trading that, I've got to go to work for this amount of time to make this amount of money to then be able to spend that money on whatever it is. There's got to be an option outside of that for you to be able to have a choice. So, if you guys want to work, and that's something you want to do, then great, that's fine. If you want to send your kids to school, that's great, no issue. But if you're wanting to, have a choice, then you need an alternative to choose from, if that makes sense. So for us, we have pursued multiple different avenues towards that, but the one that I was able to share is essentially my core business model, and the way that I am able to, how would you say it, the model that I'm able to apply to, and I do apply to all the different facets that I am involved in when it comes to business. And so I wanted to share that with you because, at the end of the day, I know everyone here is incredibly talented and resourceful and, just so incredibly skilled in the things that you are passionate about. And I want to see, just like we want for our kids, we want them to pursue our passions, their passions, we want them to pursue their passions. We want them to, live a life that is purposeful and meaningful. But at the end of the day, are we demonstrating that? And are we showing them, what it looks like from an adult's perspective to do that? And so that's why I'm really passionate about wanting to empower you as parents to be able to have choices, make choices out of, not out of fear, because I'm pretty done with the whole making a choice based on fear, and I do not operate in that way. And so, so that's why you'll see a fair amount of that coming through on this page. It really is just wanting to show and showcase to you, if you're wanting to step outside of, the traditional model of let's call it work, trading your time for money, then that's what I'm wanting to show you an option as to how you can then start moving away from that. There's many people that are utilizing this exact model. I'm sure you probably know many of them, but they haven't really made it explicitly clear what that model is, and that, it is incredibly tangible. So for me, I know that I can share that information with you really easily, and that you're able to then start leveraging, your knowledge, your passions. You're able to then, demonstrate to your children what it looks like to operate in that way. And, you do have time to then spend with your family, pursuing the things that are important to you. If you are wanting to spend time with the family, doing family stuff, doing school stuff, going on adventures, that's totally possible, because you don't, you're not locked into that system of being there for a certain amount of time, and essentially most of your life is spent outside of the family unit doing a job for someone else, and you get to spend maybe an hour at the end of each day you know, doing your hobbies or doing homework with your kids or whatever it might be. You know, to me, that wasn't a model that I found particularly, look, it's not something that I wanted to pursue. I know that being with my family is incredibly important, and if I'm able to even make steps towards, you know, making my way out of that, you know, you have to go to work because you've got to get paid because you've got to do stuff. Look, that's not a choice, and that's not the only way anymore. There's so many models of, you know, there's so many models of being able to achieve financial freedom these days that, you know, you're not locked into that system if you don't want to be. But the A to B point is usually unknown, and it's usually a lot of, let's be honest, a lot of YouTube videos that don't always add up, and it's always a lot of, you know, it's not always clear. It's always good information, but it's not always clear what to do from A, B, C, and D to then achieve the next point of where you're wanting to go. So that's why I'm sharing and encouraging you to, you know, be able to make that choice if you're wanting to, you know, even just start on that path of financial freedom. Then look, I really want to help you because like I said, you know, I'm having conversation after conversation after conversation with friends in my homeschooling circles, and so many of them talk about, you know, they're wanting their children to pursue passions, they're wanting their children to you know, to do all these fantastic things, but at the end of the day, that's not being demonstrated. And so there's this gap in between, you know, what they're wanting and what the reality is. And ultimately, as you would know with kids, they only do, most of the time, they learn through watching, rather than, you know, how many times did your parents tell you something, oh, you should do this or you should do that, or, you know, this would be better. But if it's not demonstrated, it's not really a learnt thing. You know what I'm talking about. You know, monkey see, monkey do. So, you know, what are we showing our kids? What are we teaching them when it comes to finances? What are we teaching them when it comes to, I can't afford this or I can't afford that? Our language around money and that sort of thing. So, you know, if you're wanting to have, like I said, a choice to even start making a decision out of that system, really, then I have the tools to help you with that, even if it's just the first steps towards that. You know, there's multiple models that you can utilize to make those steps out of the system. I'm going to be going through that more down the track. But like I said, you know, you've got so many incredibly talented people that are pursuing their passions and pursuing what I believe is their purpose, maybe an hour in the afternoon after they get home from work, after they've, you know, done their jobs or whatever it might be at home. Then, you know, you get stuck into what you really actually want to do with your day. But how about if that was flipped? You know, what if you were actually being able to help people and serve people and, you know, show your kids what it's like to live through your passions that ultimately have been put inside you for a reason. There's other people that want the information and want the knowledge and the passion and the excitement that you have. The people are wanting to learn from you, but if you're not able to pursue that, then, you know, what happens to those people? So yeah, at the end of the day, ultimately I'm here to encourage you in your homeschooling journey, your mindset when it comes to making choices around that, ultimately just providing opportunities for you all to, you know, I guess, live a life on your terms and choose what you're wanting to do as what's important to you. And in reality, we need money to live. So that's a pretty decent step I thought I would start with, at sharing essentially my back office in terms of how what model I use to be able to apply to my businesses, you know, to be able to generate, you know, financial freedom. So that's what I want to be able to share with you, and you can start seeing how that fits with your interests and your life. I mean, ultimately, I work about 2 hours a day, and the rest of the time I'm able to really enjoy and sow into my kids. So that's the way I want to do it. That's the way I'm pursuing. And yeah, as a family, that's what we do. And if that's what you'd like to, please, you know, comment below. Me too. And I'd happily send you I'd happily you know, send you the link. I believe I've put at least on, I think it's on Facebook, the link that you can click to know more about what I've been speaking about is just below. On Instagram, you can click the link in my bio and that will take you to the same page. Otherwise, I would love to hear from all of you. Please share this with, you know, a friend or your homeschooling, you know, bestie. And yeah, I just want to be there for you guys, encourage you, and don't forget to like the page, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I'm going to work out how to turn these off. Bye for now.